Greetings, fellow RotoBallers. My name is Joey Christopoulos with my tutty guy, Dave Rispoli. Welcome to a new segment right here on RotoBaller on YouTube. It's called Booms and Busts. We're going to go through our favorite booms and busts in Week 4, give you some options of what we think is trending up and what we think is trending down. Now, before we begin, everybody, we have to be very, very, very clear about this. When we name a player in the bust category or even in the boom category, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be sitting these guys. We're actually going to be talking about some star players. We're just basically saying that they might not get that star production that you're accustomed to heading into Week 4, so you just need to temper your expectations, get out the brown paper bag, and breathe into it. Am I right, Dave?
That's right. Everything is about tempering your expectations. And as always, when you're looking at these players, it's always about who else is on your fantasy team. So maybe you are in a small league and you do have someone better to play than one of these star options, but more than likely you don't, and you just got to trot them out there anyways, right?
Yep, that's right. And so before we begin, make sure you leave your comments and your questions below. Ask who you think is going to be your boom or bust in Week 4. We're going to do the best we can to get back to you and give you the best advice that we can to help you win your league in Week 4. Dave, let's kick it off with our first installment right here. Boom in Week 4 for me, I'm going DJ Moore on the Carolina Panthers. Now, to be very clear, we're time stamping this on Monday morning, so we have not seen the Cowboys and Eagles game yet, but do I really need to see that game to know that Dallas's secondary is a complete mess right now? They've allowed three 100-yard receiving games to 3 different receivers already this season, and the fourth one, oh yeah, he went over for 90. That's a great floor right now. DJ Moore just popped big time. The Panthers are rolling offensively. Sam Darnold now is the king of the world, so I'm going boom for DJ Moore. I think he's going to put up a monster game in Week 4.
I love the call, Joey. DJ Moore, the wide receiver 1 season has finally arrived. We've all been waiting for it. Who knew it took Sam Darnold just to forget his own boo-boo, Robbie Anderson, and fall in love with his new bae, DJ Moore. He's head over heels for him, and I love seeing it. 16 receptions for 205 yards and a tutty in his last 2 games. That's a boom for me heading into Dallas. Now, for my boom is a guy you drafted possibly top 3, top 4 overall, and has been a little bit of a rocky road. Everyone knows Alvin Kamara is an absolute stud, but I'm feeling in my gut this week a boom week. Why? His usage has increased more than any other year in his career. Alvin Kamara has never surpassed 19 carries in a game. Enter 2021, he has 20-plus carries in 2 out of his 3 games so far. So he's finally getting true bell cow treatment. And now he gets the beloved New York Giants, who just gave up 75 yards on the ground, but even better, 100 receiving yards to running backs. And that's truly where Alvin Kamara is going to be making his money this year for you as a fantasy owner. So I love the call. I'm going to say boom, Alvin Kamara. Joey, any more booms? This one's interesting. In the pre-show, you sent me this. I was laughing, but then I looked into it. I love the call. Who's your next boom?
It's Young Koo, baby, the kicker on the Falcons playing the Washington football team. Now, look, maybe he's already on your team. Maybe he's already rostered. If he's not, go out and get him because I think he is a huge boom this week. Dave, there's nothing sweeter than rolling out your fantasy lineup on a weekly basis, and you got your guys doing your thing. You got your Camaras, you got your DJ Moores, but then your kicker somehow drops 15 to 20 points in your roster. Oh,
get that dub, kicker.
Cherry on top of that, baby. That's why I'm going with Koo against Washington. Did you know, fantasy freaks, that through the first 3 weeks, the Washington football team has allowed 44 fantasy points to kickers so far? That's 44, so that's easily your floor is starting at around 10, 11, 12 points. Give me Young Koo, man. They're going to be kicking field goals. I do not trust Matt Ryan at all, even though I do think they'll be able to move the ball against them, which means we're going to be kicking field goals in this game. I like that pick a lot. That is my boom, Dave. Give us one more final boom.
Well, I think Koo is going to have to kick a lot. I think he's going to have to put up points because on the other side of the ball, Joey, I smell a lot of fantasy points for the combo of Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas. Joe, you know I love Scary Terry. You know I love F1 McLaurin, baby. And this week he gets the perfect matchup for him, Atlanta. If you watch our other show, The Check Down, and our start sits, QBs, and tight ends, you know we love to poo-poo all over the Atlanta defense. And they deserve it, okay? They have given up So many points to opposing teams' wide receiver ones. They're getting chewed up by them. Even Kenny Golladay was having his way with them. And we saw what Gronk did against them. So give me Logan Thomas. Give me Terry McLaurin. I even think Heineke will be serviceable enough to give these two really nice fantasy boom days.
Yeah, 'tis the season right now when we just look in the mirror and we say to ourselves, the Atlanta Falcons defense sucks. So let's do something about it. Let's score some fantasy points against them, Dave. Let's move on, man. Let's go to our bust. Now, again, let's be very, very clear about this. These are guys that you're probably starting in your roster this week, probably because you have to or because you drafted them super high. That's okay. They can still get you a number, but keep in mind, they might not get you the number that you were expecting for that little projection thing that's right underneath their name. They might not be able to meet those expectations in week 4. So, Dave, let me go first, man. I'm just going to hop right into it. I'm going to do Mike Evans versus the New England Patriots this week. That is my sit of the week. And now
revenge game, Joey. Are you not into the revenge game narrative?
I don't know if I am. And look, this is a bit of a zag because Mike Evans the last 2 weeks, he got 75 yards in week 2. Last week, he got over 100 for the first time this season, 105. But that is why I'm sitting him, because this is classic Mike Evans territory when he disappoints you. Him and Amari Cooper, man, they've got some sort of way of getting on some sort of streak and then just grinding it to a halt, just putting the emergency brake on that stuff. And look, against the New England Patriots, you know, the numbers don't really back up a strong start for Mike Evans. They could try and just focus on him and take him out of the offensive game plan, make Tom Brady move the ball around a little bit. Mike Evans is my bust for week 4. What do you think about that, Dave?
I love the call. No receivers broke 85 yards against the Pats this year. No passer has broke 210 yards against them. And look, nobody knows Tom Brady better than Bill. He's going to have a hell of a game plan. I know it. No one's been looking forward to. Both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have this circled 100 times in red ink on their calendars. I don't know if it's going to be exactly a points fireworks. I think it's going to be an absolute chess game. So therefore, I love the call. I'm probably sitting any Bucs wide receiver not named Chris Godwin in this one.
And maybe Tom Brady too, honestly, and maybe Tom in this game as well.
How dare you say that, Joey? Blasphemy. I'm going to pick a wide receiver for my bust as well. And this is absolutely about the matchup, not the defense as a whole, but the cornerback matchup. This is something we have a ton of data on and a lot of history on. You want to talk about guys disappearing? Nobody disappears like DeAndre Hopkins when he has to go up against Jalen Ramsey, whether it was the Jaguars or the Rams. According to Next Gen Stats, in 9 games versus Ramsey, Hopkins only has 35 receptions for 407 yards and 3 touchdowns in 9 games. That's an average of 45 yards and 0.03 tutties a game. Not good. That's not good. He's just a guy that, look, they're going to have a battle. And now Kyler Murray has tons of other weapons to choose from. We saw AJ Green get a resurgence. Rondell Moore, Christian Kirk. He doesn't have to lock on DeAndre Hopkins anymore, and I could see him absolutely looking elsewhere in this game.
Yeah, it's a great call. I mean, it's sneaky. You're just gonna have to prepare yourself, DeAndre Hopkins. Roster managers, if you will. Like, he only had 8 for 52 and a touch against him last year, and then in the final game, only 4 catches for 35 yards. That 852 one line, you're like, okay, but that's not DeAndre Hopkins fantasy numbers. That's not what you usually need from your team. You're just going to have to kind of prepare for that moving forward. Just another guy to throw out there real quick. Dalvin Cook's another guy kind of banged up this week going against the Browns team. Alexander Madison just played great. Just temper your expectations if he's able to suit it up and get into the lineup.
Yeah, I think a great rule of thumb for this kind of thing, you have to trot out DeAndre Hopkins. You're going to feel way worse if he blows up on your bench than some guy you picked up off waivers. So what I like to do in this scenario, knowing that I'm going to get a lower game out of DeAndre Hopkins or Dalvin Cook, is maybe in your flex, you throw in that home run hitter instead of that nice, safe floor guy. Maybe I'm going to pull out the Sterling Shepard and put in the Rondell Moore types, someone that maybe can make up that difference. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, great call. And this is what this segment's all about, is just trying to help you kind of plan accordingly a little bit. A little bit of a therapy session. Just get you ready for possibly some numbers that you won't be expecting. Dave, speaking of therapy sessions, here's our final one, baby. I'm just going to call this as the Steelers wide receivers. All of them.
All of them.
These are my busts heading into week 4. Look, it's just not trending in the right direction. They're playing Green Bay this week. Green Bay has been pretty tough on opposing receivers thus far this season. Juju left the game in week 3 with a rib injury, did not put up a great number. Claypool did 9-96, but he got a little banged up. Big Ben's got a torn pec, a torn body. Who knows what's going on? Deontay Johnson is on the shelf. Oh, look, I just think this is a unit that you just kind of need to either stay away from, or if you have to put into your lineup and start, make it a flex play or make it something that isn't really going to really hurt your roster a whole lot, because it's just tough sledding right now in Pittsburgh.
I almost feel like the Steelers wide receivers are sell while you can kind of wide receivers, because Ben looks cooked, Joey. He looks dunzo, and I think we may see Mason Rudolph sooner than later. I am terrified as someone who has Deontay Johnson on my fantasy team. And here's the thing. Najee Harris is their number 1 wide receiver. Of 58 pass attempts, 19 of them went to Najee. That's 33%. The deep ball is non-existent. I'm not starting any Steeler not named Najee Harris from here on out. I'm too scared, and I just think this could get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, especially with a guy like Chase Claypool. I mean, that's what the dude does. He thrives down the field catching those 50-50 balls and using that athleticism and that speed to get downfield. If they can't get the ball downfield, it's pointless. It's pointless. That's my bust. Dave, finally, before we go here, we got a life boom or bust. I'm going to go with my life boom first. It's autumn. It's fall. You know what that means. It's Zuba season.
Yeah, Zuba's back.
Zubas are back, baby. Sweatpants, come on. Too heavy. Jeans, where are we going? Out to the Louvre? Out to the opera? What are you talking about? It's Zuba season, baby. That's my life boom of the week. Get your Zubas today. They're comfy, they're cozy, they're flowy, a lot of ventilation. I love them.
Love the call, Joe. I'm a dad. I'm a new dad. All my boom busts are going to involve my child right now. She's 8 months. I'm going to go with my boom right now is any toy that makes music and plays for a long extended period of time. You hit that thing, you put it in front of them, you got yourself a nice little distraction, a daydream for at least 3.5 minutes of Old McDonald's.
I'm really glad I got you that little cow toy that just plays Pink Floyd's The Wall for an hour and a half on it.
It's so good, Joey, and it syncs perfectly with The Wizard of Oz. I'm going to go ahead and give you my bust right off the bat. It's something called sleep regression. It happens after you've already trained them how to sleep through the night. They decide, nope, 4:30 a.m. every day. That's how long I've been up. So if I'm shouting at you guys, I'm sorry. I'm on my 6th cup of coffee and 3 hours sleep. Joey, what's your life bust?
I can't tell if he's excited or he's mad at me or just he's got a child. I really can't tell the difference. My life bust is, guys, let's do it. It's been a lot of people's crosshairs. Pumpkin spice.
Great bust. Great bust.
All right. I personally, I don't drink coffee very much, but now they're trying to get pumpkin spice into almost everything right now. I think pumpkin spice is in toilet paper. I went to the store the other day and they're like, oh, are you drinking pumpkin spice? I was like, no, that's just my butt, because I have pumpkin spice toilet paper now. It's across the board. It's coming way too early too, Dave. That's the problem with me right now. We're not even in Halloween horror movie watching season, and it's already running around this world, stinking up the joint with its spices and its pumpkin-like flavors. Pumpkin spice, man, that's a bust, man. We're taking it too far. We're running it into the ground. It's like a running back who gets too many carries in a season. That's what pumpkin spice is right now. We need to chill out on that.
Joey, I haven't seen you this amped since you've talked about the Steelers wide receivers. But let's go. That's
I've had all that pumpkin spice, Dave.
That's our boom bust for this week, folks. And me and Joe, we're going to be here every week. This is a new show for us for RotoBaller. We're so excited to bring it to you guys. The more, the merrier. Bring the comments, bring the questions, and we're going to bring you that dub in your league.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Follow at Tutty Guy Dave on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me at Joey Sports Guy. It's probably right underneath his name anyways. That's so you can figure it out. Yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Comments and questions below. We're happy to answer them for you. This was RotoBallers Boomer Bust Week 4. Go win that league, guys. Thanks for watching.